take a big thing. Yeah.
Say wine fast.
Wine fast.
Good snap. Okay.
Wait. It's big. I love it.
We got a good couple. Alright, get like two more.
Different pose or something. There you go. Never know. Great meeting you. Enjoy the rest of your time.
Thank you. Hey y'all, it's your girl Chef Kyra and welcome back to another episode of New York Eats. Welcome to my food channel where we talk about everything nice, sugar and spice, baby. So for today's episode, we are gonna talk about the Adirondack Food and Wine Festival that I went to just a couple weekends ago. We had a really good time. I've been wanting to go to this festival for a really long time, since I was in college. Of course, in the beginning I wasn't like old enough to even go to this festival, because you know you gotta be 21 and up, and quite honestly it wouldn't really have been like, you know, anything to really enjoy, because there's a lot of liquor there. There is food and like other vendors and stuff like that, but like, I mean, the main purpose for going is for the liquor. And then of course, as years went on and after me being 21, I had my own, you know, apartment and car and was working, and so I just never had the time to actually go. And for up here, when the summertime comes, that's when the season is jumping. That's when all of these restaurants and different like tourist spots are really like crazy. So I never really had time to have time for myself. But this year, 2024 was my year. So my dad came up, and he came up with his fiance, or aka my stepmom, Ruth. Now, if you guys don't know who I'm talking about, she is in the Christmas video that I do have up on my channel. So I'll definitely link that down below in the description. Also, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Share the video, and you know, get it popping. So they came up, we went to dinner Saturday night. We went to Druthers in Saratoga, and we had some really good pizza, y'all. The mac and cheese, it wasn't bad. I wasn't too crazy about it. It didn't taste bad, but I wasn't too crazy about it. But the pizza was mad good. Of course, so then we have the next day. Now, I'm not gonna hold y'all, I really didn't get too much filming at the festival. I do have some clips that I'm gonna insert in this video so that you guys can see what it looked like, but it was so hot that day. My camera was definitely overheating because it was like beaming in the sun, and then on top of that, my camera is all black on top of just the heat and everything. It wasn't good. So my battery ended up dying a lot quicker than I expected it to, unfortunately. But yeah, so that day, which was Sunday, I had gotten up and made sure I drank a lot of water, because I had drinks the night before, and then I'm like, okay, now I'm getting up to go have some more drinks, so let me dilute my system real quick and have some water. Of course, I did my makeup, which I did not film. I filmed a little bit of it, but I have like clips and videos of like me doing my makeup that I sent to my friend, but I mean, I guess I can insert it, but it's just kind of like, it's not the greatest footage. And then I had me a nice little outfit, so I decided to get me a cute little black jumpsuit that zips up in the front from Fashion Nova. And it came on time, thankfully, because yeah, I don't know how many times I've had wardrobe malfunctions. And then I got me a nice chain, like layered chain set off of Amazon for like, I think $11.99. So I'm definitely gonna post it up and let y'all see like where I got everything from. And balling on a budget. Oh, also I went to TJ Maxx and got me a cute little orange bag. So hold on one second, let me go get it so I can show y'all what it looks like. So y'all, when I tell you, okay, I'm not gonna hold you, I really don't care for TJ Maxx, because like the clothes things are just really unorganized at TJ Maxx. But if you're going for a nice like little luxury bag on a budget, oh my gosh. So I got me this cute little orange Steve Madden bag. The strips are, the straps are really nice and thick and pretty, and I love that it has like Steve Madden written all down it. This little scarf, okay, so the Walmart that's by me, they have like a ethnic section for ethnic hair, and this is really just a hair scarf, but I just loved like the color scheme and everything. And I just felt like the bag by itself is just like, it's cute, it's, you know, it's given, but it just needed a little extra something, because, you know, I feel like it could have had like different tones of like orange or different color to like really tie the bag all together. But it's cool because I went right there to the ethnic section, and I've been wanting this scarf for a minute now. But yo, look how pretty this scarf is. Like, you can, come on now, that is way too pretty. So all of those vibrant colors, and then, you know, it has the orange and stuff like that in it, and, you know, different like pastel colors. So I just took that, and especially if you having a bad hair day, you get what I'm saying, you outside, it start raining, and you know, us girls, us black girls, listen, when we get our silk presses or our perms and stuff like that, we can't get wet. Our hair cannot get wet. So having this scarf on hand is, it's a vibe. It is a vibe. So I just took it. It was, I think it was like $7, y'all, when I bought it, and tied it right there on the top of the loop of the bag. Come on now, you cannot tell me that this scarf don't elevate this bag. Like, so, and this bag, I think it was like, I want to say $24.99 or something like that, but it was in the $20 range. Okay, and I'm really not a big bag person. Like, I like little book bags and things like that. Like, if I'm doing like Instacart and stuff, like, I like to just have what I need, the essentials on me, and I like to be in and out. I really don't like carrying bags around. But for when I'm ready to like pop out and I want something cute, like if I'm going to an amusement park or like an event like how I went to with, you know, the Adirondack Wine and Food Festival, this is definitely the bag for you. But yeah, I definitely think I'm gonna be going to TJ Maxx to give me some more luxury bags, you know what I'm saying, until I get to a point where I'm a millionaire and I can actually go into Michael Kors and you know, Gucci and you know, all these other, you know, Prada and whatnot, and actually buy it from them directly. We just gonna have to bowl on a budget, baby girl. So my fit definitely came together. I absolutely loved it. And then when I was FaceTiming my friend, I gave him, you know what I'm saying, gave him a 360, and not in that way, okay? So don't come for me, okay? It's not a 360 in that way, but just to give a 360 because it was a fire outfit. And I was like, just check me out real quick, make sure I'm looking good before I leave out the house, and the fit was approved, so it's good. So yeah, my dad came to pick me up and we drove to the event. So when we got there, parking was a little crazy, but it wasn't too bad because we were able to find a spot pretty easily. And the vibes was good. Everybody was chilling. It was positive energy. Like, it wasn't like, you know, because, you know, when the summertime comes, people get real funky with it and they attitudes, and they just it's not it, and people start tweaking out. But for Sunday, everybody was chilling. It was definitely hot, but it was like a dry heat. It wasn't really like humid that day, and people were just in a good mood. So we got there. Now, the only thing I could say, like, as far as like getting into the event, it was like kind of confusing on like where to go exactly, because like the first tent, it looked like they were the people that could like help you register in and scan your QR code for your ticket and stuff. And so I was like, oh, okay, well, I think this is the table, you know, like maybe that other table is just a secondary table that you can go to, you know, check in and come in for the event. I was wrong. Okay, that first table, them black people was like, it's the next table. And I was like, oh, okay, well, damn, shoot. That's like, cause like one of the ladies I was sitting at the table, she was like, oh, so they just gonna walk past? And I'm like, oh, okay, well, maybe, like, excuse me, maybe this was the table that we were supposed to go to. So I don't know what that situation was about, but we got to the table. They gave us our wristbands. You had general admission tickets, and then you also had VIP tickets. We were gonna invest in that. So like with the VIP tickets, you got a couple extra like souvenirs and things like that. You also was able to have access to like a private like tent where you can, you know, have your private party, where you can have, you know, some time to cool off and get a minute to like breathe and whatnot. Because you know, I'm not gonna lie, it was hot out there that day. But I don't think, like, essentially once we got in there, I don't think that having like those like private little huts where you can, you know, be in the shade and stuff like that was really necessary, because there was other places where you could have just popped a squat in the shade real quick for free and it wasn't an issue. So the first table that we got to when we got in there was really cool. The guy said that he works with Rachel Way to you know, create the vodka and things like that he's created with her, so they're in partnership with each other. And you could really tell that he had a lot of passion about what he was selling, and you know, really paying attention to, you know, how the liquor feels on your palate and whatnot. And you know, I got a chance to try some alcohol that had, I can't remember if it was vodka or what kind of spirit it was, but just know it was a spirit, and it had olive oil in it. And what was so weird about it was that, like, when you tasted it, it was kind of like, I don't know, like, you know what it was like? It was like the body, like how when you drink dessert wine, where dessert wine, the body of the wine is a lot heavier compared to like your regular wines that you may pair with a steak and things like that. Like, it's kind of like a very like that texture, like, I don't know, I want to say cough syrup. I want to say cough syrup, because that's like the one thing that I could think of that could like resemble like how it felt on your palate. And it was very interesting. But the man was definitely passionate about his stuff. We had some creamed liqueur of like all different kinds, you know, maybe whiskey, something with vodka or whatever, and it was really good. I can't complain. The liquor was liquoring that day. It was really good. And then we ended up going to the next tent over, and they had all of these different like pepperonis. So they had pickled pepperoni, they had cheese stuffed pepperoni, and all these different like types of cheese stuffed pepperoni. They had their original cheddar, horseradish, like all different types, and it was really good, y'all. I'm not even gonna hold you. Like, I was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to swing back around and get some of this pepperoni, because it's good. And quite honestly, I really wish I had some water, because like when I tasted the pickled pepperoni, I was about to choke and die. But thankfully I didn't, and it wasn't a scene, which was good. Went to another tent where they had like a sangria mix, and you could just put it in the freezer and then it gets all icy and whatnot, and you could have the sangria. That was alright. I mean, like, I wasn't too crazy about it. I'm not gonna hold you. It was okay. Like, I was like, and we got their slushy, their sangria slushy, and I ended up having a brain freeze. Like, I'm not, like, I'll drink slushies, but I'm not crazy about it. So it's kind of like, it was, you know, it was alright. And then it just like, the alcohol wasn't alcohol, you know. By this point, once we got to the sangria tent, like, I want to say maybe a little bit after us leaving there, you listen, between my dad and Ruth, they was both off their rocker. It was like, yo, how are y'all drunk already? You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm over here chilling. Like, y'all are, it's giving lightweight. It's giving, you can't handle your alcohol. And so at some point, I feel like I ended up becoming a parent, and they were like the little kids in the situation. And it was like, they were like, you know, like little kids in a candy store. It was crazy. So I'm trying to think, what did we do next? So then we went to this other tent, and they had all different types of wines and stuff like that. It was, I mean, quite honestly, at some point it became a blur because there was a lot of liquor involved. But I do have footage of that last tent that we went to with the wine, and it wasn't bad. Now, Okay, y'all. So I did get some footage of my father. Does he listen to people when they tell him instructions? No, he doesn't. So the lady told him, she gave him a certain wine that they had, and she said that on the first sip you're gonna get this certain note, and then on the second sip you're gonna get lime, and then the third note you're gonna get lemon, right? So she told him to take 3 sips. There was, the wine glass had maybe like a quarter of that wine in it, you know, like the appropriate amount that you would have like in your wine glass to have a tasting. Does he listen? No. So I'm recording and I'm like, you know, trying to get footage and whatnot, which was hard to do because it was hot as hell. And I just, quite honestly, I really, like, I wanted to film, but I really didn't want to film. So I'm filming him and he goes, takes 1 sip, and it wasn't even, quite honestly, I'm not even gonna hold you, it wasn't a sip, it was like a nice gulp, right? You get what I'm saying? Like a healthy gulp. And then I look, you're not even letting the wine sit on your palate. You're not even, it's crazy, you're not even just like really trying to enjoy the wine properly. Like, she told you exactly what to do, and then next thing you know, he takes the rest of the wine to the head. And I'm like, okay, last time I checked, we not in the city. It's not a 40. It's not back in the 90s or the 80s talking about take it to the head. Like, what are you doing? Like, how are you not? So, you know what I'm saying? You can't take, it's just certain black people. You know, black people. You just, there's certain people that you really just can't take certain places. Like, he didn't really act up, but it was like, sir, she told you to taste the wine, not take it to the head. Like, what's wrong with you? So after that, we were kind of like waiting around for this tent. I think it's the Egg Grill. I'll post a picture up here. I think it's the Egg Weber Grill is the name, but they had a tent demonstrating, you know, they grill and whatnot. So of course, at this point, they're clearly so drunk that they thought that ribs was freaking brisket. How you didn't see the bones to say, hey, those are ribs, is crazy. So they was like, oh, we want to wait for the brisket, this, that, and the third, although it was ribs. So they had to put it on the grill, whatever, demonstrate how, you know, the meat gets cooked on the grill. So it wasn't ready yet, and the first group of people had already swarmed over and took whatever samples that was already there. So he was like, all right, well, we'll walk around and wait until it's ready. We went fudge, which was really good, but the fudge was like hot, and because we were like, it was hot outside, and they had it just, I don't know, like, it tasted good, but it was just like hot fudge in your mouth. It was like, you know, no, it just, it was alright. It, like, just that feeling, like hot, like stuff that you wasn't intending to be hot. But it tasted really good though. So we were there, we tasted some of their fudge, bought some stuff from them, and then the meat still wasn't ready. So we went and sat under the tent where they had the culinary demonstrations. So now we sitting there, we waiting. So now the meat is finally ready. We met a lovely Spanish family from the Bronx. And so of course, you know, us Bronx natives, we had to chat it up and, you know what I'm saying, have our little New York City combo. And it was cool. They were really sweet, really nice family to talk to. Definitely had some jokes and things like that. And it was just, it was good vibes all the way. So now the ribs are ready, and of course, my father and Ruth, they run off like little kids, and they leave me behind with everything. The bags, the food, my camera, everything. They just leave me behind. The Spanish family that was behind us was nice enough to say, go ahead, don't worry about it, we'll watch your stuff, because the tent was like literally like right over, you know, like just a tent or two over. So I was like, okay, you know, like, and I didn't get no bad vibes from him. And so I ran over to the tent, got me some ribs. I ate a little bit, and I was like, I can't eat no more of this. I'm about to choke on this piece of meat, so I don't want this. Does anybody else want the rest of this rib? And between the both of them, they finished eating the ribs, because I was like, no, I'm not about to choke on this stuff. So now on to my favorite and the best part of this event. I got to meet someone who is, I would say, low-key, high-key famous. So I'm sitting in the tent, minding my business, right? And so there's a couple of people that came walking back up that had stepped out from the demonstration tent. So they had a couple of things that happened at the culinary demonstration tent. There was like a cooking competition, a demonstration, things like that. And there was a lot of things that I missed. So I think next year, if I do go, I'm definitely gonna go earlier. I might bring another group of people with me. Not that it wasn't a good time with them, but they was acting up. They was. So you know, they might get a second year, but I definitely think we should go a lot earlier so we could really experience everything. So, you know, like I said, those people had came back, and I had happened to notice them, and so I looked and I'm like, yo, why does this person look so familiar? Like, I know you from somewhere. And I'm like trying to picture it, and I'm like, it's like this person's been on TV. Trying to figure out what cooking show it was, but I know you've been on TV. So one of the Spanish girls that was, you know, part of the family that was sitting behind us, she goes, oh, that's Sakari from Hell's Kitchen. I think he was on season 20 or 21, like one of the newest seasons that just came back out, like, you know, like for I guess like the reboot of the new seasons. Now I'm like, okay, well, you know, I definitely gotta go over there and talk to him and ask him, like, what was it like working with Gordon Ramsay? What was it like being on the show? How did you get on the show? Like, was it stressful? Was it nerve-wracking? Like, what, like, you know? So I'm like low-key fanning out. If y'all don't know, I like am a fan of Gordon Ramsay. Like, I love Gordon Ramsay. I know a lot of people hate him and think that he's such a dick and he's like evil. And I mean, I'm not gonna hold you, sometimes Gordon be dragging it. He sometimes he be taking it too far. But I also love Gordon because I feel like he's a mogul. I feel like he's somebody who's created such a large brand for himself. He has multiple shows. He even has frozen meals at Walmart right now, which is like crazy. So I'll definitely be pulling up and doing an episode of that real soon. But yeah, I just love Gordon because he just has so much passion for culinary and just wanting to make sure that, you know, like people in the industry are still keeping a standard that should be kept, and having the passion that they should have behind being a chef. Because I feel like a lot of the times nowadays in these kitchens, like, people just don't give a crap about the food. Kitchens are nasty and disgusting. I mean, I've worked in plenty of them where it's just like you come to work, things are dirty, things are nasty, people aren't following protocol when it comes to you know, keeping food safe and, you know, doing things properly. There's no passion behind the food that gets put out. There's no love, there's no none of it. There's no pizzazz. Like, it's just food. It's like slop, and y'all are the pigs and this is how they feeding you. Like, there's no passion whatsoever. And for me as a chef, you know, as someone who does have passion when it comes to culinary, now that doesn't mean I don't mess up with my food, because I do. I'm not gonna hold you, there's been plenty of times that I've messed up, but you know, if I do mess up or there's something that ends up going wrong with what I end up cooking, I definitely want to figure out, okay, well, where did I go wrong? What can I do to fix it? And how can I make this better? And if it's not good enough for me, then it's not good enough for you. And I just think that it's really unfortunate that people in the industry nowadays really just don't give two flying flips about any of the food that they put out, and it's disgusting. I mean, it's to the point where, like, if you got an allergy, some chefs don't give a shit. They'll just be like, it's whatever. I don't care. And I get it, because at the end of the day, like, sometimes as a chef, the pressure and the stress of cooking food and putting it out on time is a lot. But, you know, you can't continue to keep having that attitude all the time, because that one person that you have in the dining room that may have the specific allergy could end up dying in your dining room because you didn't give a shit about doing your fucking job. So there's that. And quite honestly, like, I'm sick of it. And so this is why I have started my own business, and I'm on the Chef platform. So if you're in the area, local to Hudson Falls, New York, definitely come check your girl out. Get you a plate of food. Come get you some of this good grub, okay? Stop pulling up to McDonald's and Burger King and you know the food is not busting. Come get some busting food over here with your girl, Chef Kyra, okay? There. Yeah, those are the reasons why I love Gordon Ramsay. Don't mind my tangent, but I just really had to put that out there and, like, blast some of y'all whack ass chefs that's out there. Cause here's that. So anyway, so he comes into the tent. So thankfully the girl told me reminded me of what his name is and what show he was on. So I was like, okay. Of course, I started getting mad nervous because I'm like, oh, you famous? Like, I don't know. And I'm the type of person where it's like, I try not to, like, you know, I try to be respectful when it comes to people who are famous, because they're still human at the end of the day. And sometimes, like, people just want to be left alone, you know, like, and being around people all the time and people being in your face, and, you know, you get what I'm saying, people out here giving fake love straight up to your face, you know what I'm saying, and just people and their energy, it could be a lot sometimes. So I was like, okay, well, how do I want to approach this? But I'm definitely pulling up and I'm going to ask my questions because I'm not about to miss this opportunity. And so eventually I got up and I'm like, oh, okay, because, you know, he was sitting there conversating with everybody else. So I was like, oh, I was like, hi, I don't mean to interrupt, you know, I had to get my real professional on, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, hi, I don't mean to interrupt, but I was like, Sakari, right? So he's like, yeah, you know, blah blah. I was like, from Hell's Kitchen. And so I was like, I just want to come over and congratulate you and just, you know, tell you that you did a really good job, and it was really cool to see you, you know, being on TV and doing your thing and being somebody that's from New York City. I said the Bronx. Now, quite honestly, like, Sakari, if you end up watching this, I apologize if you're not, like, actually from the Bronx. I could have sworn, I was like, isn't he from the Bronx? I just know you was from New York City. Let's just put it that way. But so it was really cool talking to him. You know, he seems to be a really sweet guy, very down to earth, and just a genuine person. I don't really get the impression that he allowed you know, his fame or having that moment of being on Hell's Kitchen to really get to his head. And he was just, like, really cool to talk to. So I did ask him a couple of questions, like, how did he get on Hell's Kitchen? So he did explain to me that he got on Hell's Kitchen due to his work that he's had on his channels and things like that. So he does have a YouTube channel. The name of it is, it's Noble. I'm gonna post it up right here because I don't want to get stuff wrong, but I know it's Noble. I want to say Productions, but I feel like that might be wrong. But I'm gonna post it up right here so that y'all can see his channel and whatnot and his work. So he already had, like, his social media, kind of like how what I'm doing right now, where he was building up his social media presence. They saw, you know, a lot of his work and his content and really liked it and invited him onto the show. I did ask him what it's like working with Gordon Ramsay in real life, you know, aside from the cameras being on and a persona or things like that have to go into producing any TV show and whatnot. And he actually said that Gordon is really, like, a really nice guy. He's very down to earth, and he was just kind of like nervous to be on Hell's Kitchen. I mean, because, like, think about it, like, it's not like how you could do with YouTube or you just, you know, recording a little video, you know, to having your phone. Like, no, you got these big cameras that are, like, very professional, so much so to the point where, like, girl, if you had a booger in your nose, like, it's catching that. You get what I'm saying? Like, if you had wax in your ear, you get what I'm saying? Like, if you didn't clean your ears that morning, okay, and the camera pan onto you, it's catching all of that. You get what I'm saying? It's catching all of that. So there's no hiding from anything, because every moment of your life is being recorded, and it's a lot. It's kind of like being on, you know, reality TV, where it's just like, if you fart, that's recorded. We got that documented in 4K, baby girl. Like, you lucky if you don't have something where it could, like, translate the smell of your fart through the camera. Like, I know I'm getting real weird with it, but, like, that's how detailed it is. So I could imagine how nerve-wracking and scary that would have been for him. I mean, I know I would be crapping my pants, even though I do YouTube. Child, to be on national television, everybody and their mama is watching you. That's scary. That is so freaking scary. And then you making mistakes in the kitchen. Like, if you fuck up and you're, you know, like, you mess up at your job, like, that's one thing, because, like, this shit is not being recorded, and the most you may get is your chef beefing with you and yelling at you and telling you that you're an idiot sandwich, like Gordon. But it's another thing to have Gordon, who is very well known, a lot of people watch him, and he calls you an idiot sandwich on national TV. people are going to take that, record it, clip it, and it's going to be on the internet for forever. As long as the internet is alive, somebody gonna have it. As long as technology is still a thing, somebody gonna have it. So I don't know, yo. And it's crazy because I've had people tell me like, oh, Kyra, you're such a good chef, like it would be so dope to see you on like Food Network and stuff like that and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know, like that. I just that within itself makes me nervous. Like even just me doing YouTube and stepping out of my comfort zone, like it's one of those things that made me like, I don't know. So but yeah, so we talked and everything. So I do have footage of our conversation, so you'll be able to hear some of the audio. But of course, you know, I had well, first of all, I didn't know that I was being recorded. That's one. Because I had my back to my family. So the whole time, okay, my father is recording me and Sakari talking and like making it mad, like hella awkward. And so I'm like, now it makes sense that Sakari kept like looking over, and I didn't think to like I turned around and I pointed to them, but I didn't really like notice them like that hard body. So now when I finally turn around, because they're like, oh, you should take a picture of this and the third, whoop, whoop, whoop. I turn around, I was like, oh yeah, I have my camera. I turn around, my father's like this with the motherfucker. Sir. And I mean, like, part of me is like, I'm not mad because that was a memorable moment, so I'm kind of glad that he was recording everything. But then when I go back to check the footage, y'all, why is it blurry?
Show, it was crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. He's really sweet.
He is. A lot of people say, oh, he hates Corey.
Corey's really nice.
He's really cool.
He's really nice.
Yeah, he's really cares. But I think a lot of people want that because he has a lot of passion.
Yeah, he has a lot of passion. Yeah, he always says like professional, not personal.
Right.
No, we just do Corey. It's like a boot camp.
So, okay, so how did you get like signed by the
They hit me up. They like saw my content and they were like, would you like to be on the show? And I was like, I didn't really want to do it, but I decided to do it. I thought it'd be cool. I'm happy I did it. It was great. Thank you so much. Remember your name? Kyra. Sakari. Really great to meet you, Kyra.
Yeah, and my little brother, he's in the culinary now.
Okay, that's awesome. Amazing.
Worked at a local restaurant.
I'm from here, so go ahead.
Okay.
Girl West.
Nice.
That's where we're at.
Okay.
So, a fine dining restaurant.
Very cool. That's awesome.
Okay.
Keep doing your thing.
So
That's
I was like,
incredible.
so I gotta tell him that I want to see some.
Yeah, absolutely. Tell myself hello.
Take a picture. Yeah, if you have a phone, take a picture.
Oh yeah. I got.
Okay. She's like, I'm already filming everything. No worries.
So if it's okay with you,
I would love to. Let's do it.
take a picture with you.
Okay. I'm filming it already.
Oh, okay. Well, you need an actual picture.
Stop filming.
Oh man.
Why is it blurry? It's like, yo, and my thing is just like, sir, you didn't think to say, let me have the camera focus so you can actually see something. So again, Sakari, if you end up seeing this video, I'm sorry if my father made you awkward with him recording you. Quite honestly, I really didn't know that he was behind me recording everything. But yeah, so Sakari comes around and we go to take pictures. So of course it's like mad awkward. I'm like, I want to be all up on the boy because the boy don't know me, and I know the boy, but I don't know the boy, you know, like. So I guess both of us is like low-key kind of like nervous to take a picture of each other, so you know, it's like kind of awkward, whatever. But he came over, and so I'm gonna insert the clip where it's like a recording but also a picture. So it's like, you know how with your iPhone you have like the live motion where you can see what was going on before the picture was actually snapped. So it's basically like that. So I have that setting on my camera, so I'm gonna insert that here. And yeah, so we kind of just like stood close enough to each other so we could be in the frame to take the picture, but he just like put his thumbs up and was like, oh, like good job, like I don't know, like you just awkward, you just didn't know like what to do. So I just followed suit. And like midway or like towards the end, I was like, okay, like excuse me, Pops, do you have enough photos so that this young man can go back to his life and we can stop bothering him? And so he's like, oh yeah, I think I got enough pictures. And I'm like, okay, well let's just get like 2 more, because I don't know what the hell is going on over there, and this is a once in a lifetime kind of situation. I may not ever see Sakari ever again in my life. So, and you're old, and you may not know what you're doing over there. So let's just take 2 more pictures as a precautionary measure. And so he goes to take the pictures, and so he's like, oh, give me a different pose, do a different pose or something, y'all just standing there. And so Sakari goes and, you know, gets closer. So we took a picture, and it was y'all, the last picture I'm gonna put up, it's a really nice picture. I think we both look good. Don't mind my dinner rolls, shorty is still working on losing weight, you know what I'm saying? But I think overall it was a nice picture, it was cute. And then y'all comment what y'all think about the picture down below. I'm gonna let the court of public opinion decide what they thought. But yeah, it was really nice meeting him. So, you know, it was good. It was it was a really nice experience though. But overall, it was a good time. It was definitely hot as hell, but it was a nice time. And I definitely think that I would want to go back for a second year, but make sure that I go at an earlier time so that I could really like enjoy the full event. And who knows, maybe your girl might be in a cooking competition next year. Like, you never know, you never know. So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I will see you in the next one. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe, and peace out.